Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today for my 3-month post-op plastic surgery update. So 3 months or 12 weeks post-op plastic surgery, which is crazy and super exciting. So to start off with my little spiel, hello, my name is Grace. I am 5'8", 29 years old, and on January 2nd, 2018, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG weight loss surgery. My highest weight ever recorded was 354 pounds in May of 2017, and I was required by my insurance to do a 6-month medically supervised weight loss diet, and over the course of that 6 months, I lost 35 pounds, so my starting weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. Over the course of about a year and a half, I lost over 120 pounds and maintained in the low 190s for about 6 months before I had my first round of plastic surgery with Dr. Alejandro Galvez in Tijuana, Mexico on January 29th, 2020, which was 12 weeks ago tomorrow. I had a extended tummy tuck, so that was an incision from hip to hip. I had a fleur-de-lis, which is a vertical incision. I had a reverse tummy tuck, which is an incision right under the breast line. I also had a bra line back lift, so that incision went all the way around my body. I had 2-zone lipo on my lower back, and I had a breast lift / reduction. So all of that 12 weeks ago, super crazy, and I'm feeling good. So tomorrow, this week, 12 weeks, is I am officially cleared to start working out and doing strength training. I had grand plans to be returning to the gym, but of course, given what is going on in the world right now, that is not happening. But I did start working out this morning, a day early, but I figure I'm close enough. And I've been feeling good, and I am starting with a fairly gentle program, partially because I do not have weights at my apartment. I do have resistance bands, and so I am starting the program is an 8-week beginner program. It is already, I did the first one this morning, and I can already tell it is a little light for me. So I thought it might be actually really good because I haven't worked out in 3 months. I thought it would be a great way to ease into it, and I still do think it is a great way, but I think I'm going to do, it's a 3-day full body workout. I'm going to do the beginner one for this week, and then I think I'm going to try to move on to some more advanced stuff. The only problem is, of course, is I just don't have a lot of equipment here, and I don't particularly want to buy a lot of equipment because I do not enjoy working out. And so, I do not enjoy working out at home. And so as soon as I am able to get back to the gym, that is going to be my preference. And frankly, I am not going to be able to purchase the kind of equipment that I would need. So for example, hip thrusts are a very popular thing. I was hip thrusting over 100 pounds. There's no way that I'm going to be able to get, 100-pound weight, it's just not really possible to get myself to where I was before anyways. But we'll see. I might see if I can get something. Right now I just have like 2 or 3 pound hand weights. So I might see if I can get something, in the 20-pound range at like Target or something, but, we'll see. Basically, we'll see, where I feel like I'm at, but I want to work out because I feel better when I work out, and I think it might help me because I'm not in the best mental space, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Some other things, I've basically not worn my faja at all this past week. It's just, in some ways, I actually really enjoy it. I do feel more contained. It is more comfortable to have that pressure and compression on my trunk. And it definitely helps reduce the swelling. My swelling has not been managed because I'm not wearing the faja, but the crotch opening was just getting it to be such a pain in the ass to manage. It wasn't fun to have to constantly put padding there, put lipofoam, all that stuff. I just wasn't enjoying it, and was just sort of ready to live my life with my body how it's going to be. So, the swelling is what it is, and otherwise, it's fine. Definitely, I think particularly with not wearing the faja, I almost feel my body more because it's not being compressed in, and it's strange, kind of this tightness. I especially feel it when I go from sitting to standing. It's almost like my muscles, got used to being compressed by sitting, and then they need to stretch out again when I stand. So I almost have to do like a little bit of stretching when I stand up. It's kind of odd. I wonder if that's gonna change, you know? when I had my vertical sleeve, I knew that that was a change that was going to affect me forever. And while of course it is different now than it was in the very beginning because my stomach has healed now, because I am over 2 years out, there is definitely ways, like it doesn't feel the same as it did before I had the surgery, and it never will. The way that I eat, all of that stuff, there is differences. The way that, how it feels when I'm full, drinking and eating at the same time, all of that stuff is different than it used to feel. And I knew that that was going to be kind of a permanent change, but it's impossible until you have it to know exactly how that will feel. There's just no way to explain it until you experience it. And so I wonder, I have permanently removed my skin. There are scars, both external and internal. And so I am certain that I'm going to feel that in some way forever, but I don't really know what that will be like yet. And I'm still relatively soon out. 3 months is kind of where you're, it is where you're cleared to do most activities, basically everything, obviously kind of ramping up into it. But yeah, I don't know yet how my body is going to feel forever. My breasts feel very strange. So I've just started this past week actually sleeping on my stomach again, which is how I normally sleep. I am no longer exclusively sleeping on my stomach, which might just be because I'm still getting used to it. And I have been sleeping on my back and on my side, and that has been comfortable for me. It never was before. But lying down on my chest is very strange. It's like they're very firm and not in a, this is all my own tissue. There's no implants, etc. But I have never had a chest this size and a chest that wasn't quite inflated because of fat, right? Like I've been fat since I started forming breasts. And so they've always been much larger and droopier than, I've never had perky breasts, not even when I was like in 3rd grade and forming them. So now they're in a very, I'm still not used to them, like the nipples are very high. They feel weird. That's the part that I'm like adjusting to the most is my chest, just because it's so foreign to me. And it feels strange to lie on them, like it almost, there's not a ton of padding in there anymore, and so it's just unusual. It's hard to explain. And it's also, they're frustrating just because I have not been able to go and get a bra fitting, and that's one of the things that I'm the most annoyed about with this whole thing, is because I just don't know what my size is. I really want to get a professional fitting. I just, like to me, they feel seem quite small, but I don't fit into, I still have a very broad rib cage, and I guess these breasts are not considered small. When I try on things, it's kind of weird. I don't feel like I am busty, but I think I am still kind of considered in the not tiny category, because I can't just put on like random bralettes and stuff. I don't fit into them. So I don't know. It's weird. I just think I need more time to adjust to them in particular. Yeah. So I am 3 months post-op. I made a video asking for any questions. So if you have any questions for me, I'm going to be doing a 3-month post-op Q&A. So you can leave them in this video if you want, or you can go to the video. I'll link it above and below. Where I'm asking for questions, so happy to answer anything. I'm still quite, like I said, I'm still quite swollen. I'm hovering around the weight that I was when I had plastics, which is messing with me mentally. And I've been talking to a couple of the other girls I know who had surgery around when I did plastic surgery, and they're actually around in the same boat, hovering at or a little bit above what they were when they had surgery, and also kind of struggling with it because when you have, a good amount of skin removed, I had 15 pounds of skin removed, you would think that I would be 15 pounds lower, and I'm not. And part of that, I think, is the swelling, and part of that is that I'm not eating the way that I should be. And I'm not in a great place right now. And I've been mentioning that, and I know it is super common to go through a mental stuff, to essentially go through a depression after plastic surgery in particular. I've heard it from a lot of people. I was actually doing really well for, I'd say, the first 2 months. And I don't know if this would have happened even if we did not have this pandemic happening, or if it is just exacerbated by that, it's hard to say. Like, they're obviously so inextricably twined, but I do think that they are both playing off of each other, you know, my feelings on it. And that has led to me not making the best food choices. And yeah, I haven't felt up, frankly. Like I'm not sharing a lot of body shots. I'm not taking them. You know, I'm not in a headspace for it. And it's not because I'm unhappy with my surgeon or unhappy with how I look or anything like in terms of, you know, he did great work. I'm just not in a place where I want to be taking photos because I'm in a critical mood, you know, and if I'm taking a lot of body shots and trying to do these transformations, I know that is going to put me in a bad headspace, so I'm trying to avoid it. But then I have people asking me why I'm not posting them, and I've been thinking for a while, since before I had plastics, my back of my mind plan was to continue doing weekly videos until I hit 3 months post-op, and then move to monthly. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm at a point right now where what is making me feel the worst about myself is making these videos. And that's not a place I've been in before. Before, you know, like I've really normally enjoyed making these videos. I find they help me stay accountable and on track. But right now this is a very personal process. All of this, it has been. Plastics has been hitting me in a different way. And feeling a little bit more personal, a little bit more vulnerable. And I've shared quite a lot of my experience. I've been quite open, and I do not know if it is the nature of things or the fact that I have, you know, more people following me than I did at the start of my VSG, or just the fact that I am going through kind of a depression right now, but I'm much more sensitive than I normally am, and things just get to me more easily. And like 99% of the people who are watching, who have been interacting with me, have been so wonderful, so appreciative and thoughtful and caring and kind. And that has really meant a lot. And then there's that 1% that hasn't been. And as much as I would love to be able to ignore it, right now I'm not in a place where I can, you know, there's, you know, it gets frustrating when there's kind of a sense of entitlement, like people are owed pictures of my body, when I'm not in a place to be posting them right now. And people feel, I don't know, there's someone who must be following me, because how else would they know it every time I post a video? But they're like just systematically giving me a thumbs down on all my videos. And normally, like, I could not care less. That says so much more about this person than it does about them. Any kind of engagement on my videos, frankly, does me well. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's just like, I've talked about how it feels weird coming on here when I'm not doing well and I'm not the model patient or whatever, and saying that and admitting it, and it also admitting that I'm not in a place mentally right now to be clawing myself back into motivation. And I, you know, for all I know, this person is just gonna give me a thumbs down no matter what. But it feels like a statement on, oh, well, you're being a bad influence, you know, which is my problem. This is my problem. But you know, when I post a 1-minute video that literally the entire video is, hey, if you have any questions for me, I will answer them. Like, let me know if you have any questions and I will talk about my own deeply personal experience and help you all for free. And someone gives that a thumbs down, like that has messed with my head, and I don't want to keep putting myself in that position because I'm not in a place right now where that's doing me any good, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. This is like kind of a downer video. I mean, and all of my videos have felt like that lately, and I don't like that either. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I never have, and that's where we're at. And I'm, you know, I do want to continue to make videos, and I've always, like I said, my plan has kind of low-key been to start transitioning into a monthly video, because I'm at a point where that feels more relevant, and it's not like I'm trying to hide. You know, that's the other thing. I haven't wanted to stop making videos just because I've not been in a good headspace, because I don't want to only present a very rosy view of things, because that is not how life works. But you know, there's a balance between being open and honest and being like this resource for people to see how all of this stuff can really play out in your real life, and letting people into the point where it is detrimental to your mental health. And I feel like we're getting to that point for me. Which is not to say that like I said, I'm not going to stop posting. I'm still over on Instagram. I'm still planning to post videos other than my weekly updates. I actually have a bunch of other videos, a couple of other videos already filmed or to be filmed. You know, I'm not stopping. I just think I'm not going to be coming in every single week with weight updates. And that's just also not, I don't think that's how I want to think of things at this point. And I've talked about that before as well. You know, my hope after I had plastics was to really start working on fitness in terms of strength training, gaining strength, toning up, working on my muscles, all of that stuff. And that is something that I think necessarily will require a distancing from the scale, because if I'm doing it right, you will be putting on muscle, which is denser than fat. And so that the scale is going to perhaps stay the same or go up, even if my body is changing. And I want to, I need to be at a point where that does not bother me. And so I think these weekly updates at this point, coming in every week and talking about my weight, is not the approach that I want to take anymore, if that makes sense. Anyways, yeah, that's all to say, like, I still am about, like, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm confident in my body. I would be happier at 10 pounds lower in terms of, and maybe that's just because I saw myself at 10 pounds lower and I liked that, I'm not unhappy here, but I think, as I've said before, part of why I want to be 10 pounds lower is because I know that I am eating in a way that is not the best for me, does not make me feel the best, and it does not make me look the way that I want to look ideally. And so I think that is my struggle. Like, I'm okay with the scale, generally speaking, fluctuating if I really am eating well. But I know that I'm not right now. And so even though I know that some of this is just swelling, and that's going to be exacerbated by the kinds of foods I'm eating, carbs, alcohol, salt, sodium, I know that it's not entirely swelling. So anyways, kind of a vomit of things. Why don't we do photos? So all this to say, I don't mind showing my photos. I did take some this morning. I'll show you guys me at my highest weight, me at right before surgery, and then me today. So you'll see me from the front and the side and the back. And I'll be totally honest, the reason why you guys are seeing me with my highest weight before plastics and today is because I don't like the comparison of me at 2 weeks or at 1 month post-op today. I was at a lower weight and you could see it. Part of that is, again, swelling. Part of that is actual gain. It's not crazy significant, but at this point, because I no longer have the loose skin, it is a little bit more significantly noticeable than it was before. And I make these videos and I get to choose what you guys see and what I share with you. And I'm being honest that is the reason why I'm not showing those. And for my own mental health, that is what we're going to do. And if you guys have a problem with that, then I am very sorry. But I do think that, I do want to be upfront about the fact that I am a human being. And while I want to share as much as I can with you guys and be helpful and be a resource, I also need to make sure that I am doing okay. So one other thing some people have asked about scars. The reason why, you can kind of see my scars in that last video. I have not shown my scars is because I'm generally and almost entirely covered with silicone tape. Silicone tape is good for helping to reduce the color and size of the scars. And so that is what I'm doing. And so generally speaking, you'll just see the tape. But I left tape off of just one part of my scar today so that I could show you. So, by the way, this shirt, if you haven't watched my Trunk Club try-on haul, this was one of the shirts. I ended up deciding to keep it. I liked it a lot better. So I'm wearing the same sports bra. Before, like, this shirt looks a lot better when it's lower. Unfortunately, I don't have a bra where I can wear it that doesn't show. This is not too bad. It almost looks purposeful, but before I was trying to not show it, so it was too high. It looks much better in my opinion, lower. But anyways, I decided to keep it. It was $20, and you know, the color's growing on me. But scar. So this is my FDL. Oh, let me see if I can scoot back. So you can see here's the silicone tape, my little belly button, but this is the FDL. And I would say it's about as dark. Maybe it's a smidge lighter in real life than it is on camera, but it's there. And this is actually one of the better scars, I would say. And you can see, like, yeah, so here, there's tape. My I scar fairly dark. And I think I mentioned that before. When I had my VSG, it was laparoscopic and I just had 5 incisions, but those 5 incisions were about that color until I got them taken off with plastic surgery. So I knew going into that this would likely be my experience. Obviously, I'm still just 3 months out. Scars will, fingers crossed, lighten with time, but if they don't, I'm okay with it. That was, you know, it's one of those things you go into plastics expecting, and I went into plastics with the expectations that my scars were going to look like that, and that was my trade-off for losing the skin, and it's totally worth it for me. But that is just something I wanted to let you guys know. Like I said, I knew that I would scar pretty dark. The one on my back is the worst, and it's probably, unfortunately, the one that I probably would most want to be lightest, and it is the darkest, just because it is on your bra line, but you know, bras can kind of vary, and so wearing something that's like really deep in the back, which is something I never could do before because of all the loose skin and because of the fat, and now because of the scar. But you know, like I said, I'm not too worried about scars, and I'm not really going to be ashamed of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother hoping to get my arms done. Anyways, long video long. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I know that I've been kind of weird lately, like in just a weird space, maybe a little bit different than I have been. This is, I think, kind of the first time I've been in one of these funks for so long. And I'm sure it doesn't help right now. I'm coming off of my period. I've been really emotional, so I'm sure that is part of why I've been feeling particularly meh these past few days. But, you know, I want to be honest with you guys. I want to tell you where I'm at. And yeah. That's pretty much it. So thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you for being here. Like I said, the majority of you guys are so wonderful and have been really amazing, and I so appreciate that. And I really do want you to know that I do notice that, and that is something that I try to focus on, but my brain doesn't always allow me to focus on the positive. So there we are. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you guys are dealing with this quarantine better than I am, and I'll talk to y'all very soon.